if you write a gospel, Tim, you're not going to put your name on it.
Of course not.
You're gonna put someone who is important. You're gonna put Peter's name on it, or you're gonna put Thomas's name. You're gonna put Philip's name on it. Better yet, you're gonna put Mary Magdalene's name on it, because that's gonna cause a stir.
This is a common apologetic talking point, but it doesn't hold up. Wes Huff and Tim Barnett simply assume that if a gospel writer wanted to use someone else's name, they would automatically choose the most famous apostle. But that is only speculation. No apologist I know of explains why this must be true, and there are good reasons to think otherwise. First, Peter was not known as a learned man. Acts chapter 4 verse 13 even calls him unschooled and ordinary. Most scholars think he was illiterate. If someone wrote a book in polished Greek and claimed it was Peter's, it would raise suspicion. In fact, we have an example of this. The Gospel of Peter was rejected as a forgery. If the Gospel writers were clever, they would avoid repeating that mistake. Second, this argument assumes that only books attached to the biggest apostles would gain traction. That is clearly not true. If you have not heard of Pseudo-Dionysius, look it up. Dionysius appears only once in the New Testament in Acts 17:34 as a convert of Paul in Athens. Centuries later, an anonymous writer produced a set of works under his name. You might think an obscure figure would not carry weight, but his writings such as the Divine Names, the Mystical Theology, the Celestial Hierarchy, the Ecclesiastical Hierarchy, and several letters became massively influential. For about 1,000 years, hardly anyone in the church doubted the attribution, until scholars in the 15th and 16th centuries recognized the works were written much later. That is a striking example of a forgery using a little-known name that still achieved wide acceptance.